BlocksCAD skills. The four basic 3D shapes: sphere, cube, cylinder, and torus. In this video, we'll be talking about the four basic shapes, or primitives, that BlocksCAD uses as the basis for all its 3D design. You access these objects by clicking on the 3D Shapes tab in the Blocks category menu on the left-hand side of the screen. These shapes are sphere, cube, cylinder, and torus. Let's begin by working with spheres. Click, hold, and drag the sphere block onto the work area. Click Render, and you'll notice a sphere has been drawn in the Render window. A sphere is defined by its radius, the distance from its origin, or center point, to another point on its surface, or outer edge. By adjusting the radius value, we can make our sphere larger or smaller. Remember, you'll need to click the Render button in order to see the changes you make in the work area. When you're finished working with a shape, click, hold, and drag it off screen. Now, let's drag out a cube block from the 3D Shapes tab to see which values define its appearance. Notice that the cube has x, y, and z values, and its shape is defined as the distance from the origin point to the length, width, and height of its sides. By default, the cube is drawn with one corner at the origin. If you center the cube, the shape is now drawn so that the center of the cube is at the origin. Note that as we change the value on a given axis and hit Render, the cube changes its size to reflect the new dimensions. Now, drag the block out of the work area and let's take a look at the cylinder next. Drag the cylinder block onto the workspace and hit Render. Notice that a cylinder is defined by radius 1, radius 2, and height. By default, radius 1, radius 2, and height are all set to 10 millimeters. Notice also by default that the two radii are locked. If we change one value to 20 millimeters, the other changes as well. Change the height to 30 millimeters, hit Render, and now the cylinder is 3 times taller. We saw how the two radii are locked by default. Now let's see what happens when we unlock and change them independently. What do you suppose would happen if we set radius 1 to 0? Let's see. Hit Render, and you'll see we now have a cone shape. As with other objects, we can optionally center our cylinder, now a cone, at the origin. Let's move this off the screen and get ready for our last shape, the torus. Drag out a torus and hit Render. Notice that the torus is a lot like a ring or donut shape. The torus needs 4 values to define its radius appearance. 1 is the distance between the origin and the center of the ring, so increasing this value produces a bigger ring, but not a thicker one. Radius 2 is the radius of the ring itself, so increasing this value will give us a thicker ring. Sides defines how closely the ring approximates an arc. The lower the number, the less like an arc it appears. The higher the number, the more the torus looks like a smooth inner tube shape. Faces defines how many segments are used to make the cross-section of the ring. The lower the number, the less like a tube it looks. The higher the number, the more it resembles a smooth, round object. These 4 shapes, the sphere, cube, cylinder, and torus, are the basis for all 3D building in BlocksCAD. You can watch this skills video again, or, to practice what you've just learned, launch BlocksCAD and start building.